It's very windy today, so rather than recording outside, I've been forced into the spare room. I'm Disgruntled Danny, and welcome to Woke Watch. In this series of videos, I look for the wokest possible stories and then dismantle them to show what utter bullshit wokeness is. But it appears that the Anti-Everything Brigade are running out of things to complain about, because today on British television, two people were making the argument that pet owners should seek the consent of their cats before touching them. There's a very obvious joke in there about asking a girl if you could touch her pussy. There, I've said it, we can all move on. Now, I'm more of a dog person than a cat person, because dogs are happy and bouncy and they always want to play, whereas cats stare at you as if they're spending every waking moment planning your death. That being said, if you need to get consent from a cat, what the fuck are you planning to do to it? The most obvious problem here is that I don't speak cat. Does this mean we have to get Dr. Doolittle involved? And I really hope not, because I can't stomach another 2 hours of Robert Downey Jr. attempting to do the Welsh accent. And that film was really bizarre, because the villain was played by Michael Sheen, who is not only a much better actor than Tony fucking Stark, but also he's Welsh. I've mentioned before that some of the worst people on earth are woke white people. The people who've decided they need to speak up on behalf of ethnic minorities. As if those minorities couldn't do it themselves and they don't realise how condescending and racist they're being. But now we've got people who are speaking up on behalf of animals. That's a whole new level of lunacy. Just to be clear, if you ask a cat its consent and you can hear it replying to you, that voice is coming from inside your head and you are having a psychotic episode. And I'm not an expert on animal behaviour, but surely if you went to stroke a cat and it didn't want you to, it would fucking move. And I'm not a vet or anything, but I think if you go to stroke or pick up a cat and there's no reaction whatsoever, the chances are it's dead. How have we got to a point where there are people who are so bloody woke they've run out of things to complain about their own species, so now they're complaining about the consent of touching a family pet? I don't know the answer to that, but I'm a straight white guy, so somehow it's going to be my fucking fault. Back when I was a lad growing up in the 1980s and 90s, we had a thing called common sense, and it worked remarkably well. If we heard some lunatic saying you need consent to touch a cat, either they were ignored or they were locked away for their own good. They weren't put on television to promote their half-wit ideas. This is a very short video, but as ever, thanks for watching.